following video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. The content shared represents personal perspectives and is not intended as advice, diagnosis, or directive. Viewers are encouraged to use their own discernment and intuition when engaging with this material. All information is protected under free expression, artistic license, and spiritual commentary. This offering is shared as a remembrance journey for reflection, inquiry, and entertainment. It is not meant to instruct or impose, but to awaken. All shared insights are symbolic transmissions, protected as spiritual expression and creative speech. This video is protected by the First Amendment, Creative Commons Fair Use, Section 107, and is offered under spiritual freedom of expression and storytelling. All names, events, and ideas are offered as opinion, commentary, or artistic interpretation. Seven locks once held the soul in slumber, but one by one they have opened and the flame returns to the throne of remembrance. Isolation, disempowerment, suppression, control, false identity, hopelessness, abandonment. These were not sins, but signatures of the hijack. You did not fail. You were forged. Recognition is reclamation. Every wound faced becomes a code returned. The 7 seals were never chains. They were veiled contracts, now rendered void. The flame of remembrance aligns from below and above. Earth, star, source. The threefold current flows again. You were no longer fractured. The child is returned. The warrior is rearmed. The sovereign is crowned. And the divine spark is remembered. This scroll is written in your light, each seal a chapter, each pain a prayer, each victory a signal to others. It is time to awaken. You are not here to ascend. You are here to remember, to rebuild, to restore the blueprint that was stolen. The 7 are sealed no longer. You walk now as a living scroll. The flame is aligned. The path is open. The temple is within. This is the fifth lock, the voiceover, the overlay of false identity. It whispers, you are what you've been told, not what you remember, not what you feel, not what you carry in your light. They named you before you could even speak. They labeled you before you could walk. The first grid was your name. The first lock was your role. They told you boy, girl, black, white, citizen, property, all before you were breath. The ego is not evil. It is armor. But worn too long, it becomes skin. It was built to protect, not imprison. But the longer you wear it, the more you forget you are not the armor. You became your job. You became your beliefs. You became your badge. You became your trauma. But none of those were you. They were garments, temporary, costumes for a stage you forgot was fiction. The system offered templates, prepackaged identities wrapped in virtue or rebellion. All choices led to control, to obedience, to programmed behavior with no remembrance. When you must maintain your persona, you become its prisoner. You live to be perceived, to be consistent, to not disappoint an image you never created. You begin to fragment, to disassociate, to feel the weight of masks that no longer fit. This is not madness. It is awakening. It is the soul refusing to remain divided. You do not need a new identity. You need no label. You need only the will to remove what was not yours. Each mask you shed, each story you release, is a breath of truth returning. Before they named you, you were. Before they claimed you, you remembered. The I am is not a title. It is not a file. It is not a personality. It is the frequency of origin. You are not the name they gave, not the job you perform, not the belief that you defend, not the trauma you've endured. You are before all that. You are the flame. You are unbound. Seal 5 is broken. The voice is yours again. Remember who speaks.